This is the Sisterhood Society podcast, where three sisters talk life, food, fashion, kids, and everything in between. Become part of our sisterhood where everyone is welcome at our table. Welcome back to the Sisterhood Society podcast. You guys were so excited to do this episode. Very silly, but important episode. A topic that needs to be discussed. But first of all, we're going to talk about what is good in the sisterhood. So I'm going to start with you, Tara.
I have all my laundry clean at one time.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that was going to be mine.
I literally have never had that in the history of laundry. Like, I realized
History of laundry?
No, I literally got all the laundry done yesterday, which has never happened before. And I realized I have a lot more underwear than I thought I did, but it's because my laundry's never clean all at once.
That's a nice surprise, actually.
Yeah.
That was going to be mine because I literally got through
You
all
got
of
the
our
idea from
laundry.
me.
What? I'm actually pretty sure I sent you a photo of the fact that I finally put away my Nashville stuff.
I was already in the midst of it.
Oh, so was
And I had posted on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Who
It doesn't
posted
count
first?
unless you post.
All right. This is a nice little sneak peek at how competitive Tara actually is. She's a secret competitive person. You
I don't
wouldn't
think
know
it's so
it.
secret.
Well, you wouldn't know it. She doesn't come right out the gate, but in her mind, she is definitely competing with you over something. She doesn't say it all the time, though.
That's funny.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
I was almost a 2-time dog hero this weekend. If you missed my first dog hero episode, go back a couple episodes. But this past weekend, me and Phil were walking in our neighborhood, and there was a loose dachshund. And
Same dog?
No, totally different neighbor, totally different dog. And it was a really weird story, so I'll spare you the story. But his owner found him in the backyard. He was like in between yards.
He was in his backyard.
No, he was in between a bunch of people's yards in this like wooded area. Why are you laughing?
Like, the punchline is he was actually in his own yard.
He was in his own backyard.
And the owner found him.
And that's why I'm not a 2-time dog hero.
Yeah, that's true. It's not really as good of a story, but we were chasing the dog down, and this guy kept chasing the dog, and he wasn't actually the owner. He was chasing it for his neighbor. He recognized the dog just like us. So I was really excited to be able to come on the podcast and tell you guys I was a 2-time dog hero, but I'm not. I guess it's not really good.
Yeah, I
news.
was like, oh, that's
the good
kind of a
news is the
bummer.
dog was found.
The
Okay.
good news is you had a peach, or no, a
Peach.
strawberry and pretzel.
Oh, yes, I had a great fritter this weekend. It just sounds so stupid because it is. I had a great fritter this weekend. It was strawberry and pretzel. It's a strawberry and pretzel fritter from Connie and Johnny Donuts.
But
and
you have to give the context of the fact that they don't sell them
Yeah,
anywhere except in coffee houses, and they're always sold out.
yeah,
and
I
you
should have
yeah.
dug in a little further.
Yeah.
So basically, there's
It's a great fritter.
I just ate a really great fritter. There is a there's a donuts company in Nashville called Connie and Johnny, and you can't get them unless you like hunt down these coffee shops that like order them. And our church carries them. And Crema, which I always go get my avocado toast from, is always sold out of them by the time we go, even if it's like 10 a.m.
They don't have their own store.
They don't have their own store.
So you
have
can't
to like
go to Connie and Johnny's and get
Right.
yourself a fritter.
there is
You
no
have to
Connie and
hope.
Johnny's. You have to hope you find them at one of their locations. So when you find one, it feels like a diamond in the rough. And I had a great one at Cafe Rose, which is my like new obsession. I think I'm very much like Dad, like in this way that I just like get obsessed with something and then I run it into the ground. Like Dad does too. He'll get
As
like
soon as you
really
start
into
buying
something.
5 dozen Fresca.
That's true. Dad gets like really obsessed with like, remember like over the summer it was like ice cream sandwiches and like Klondike bars. I mean, he's kind of always loved Klondike ice cream bars.
Consumer.
It's nothing new.
And he has always loved Fresca. Maybe he's more of a classic guy than we think. But I have a tendency to get like obsessed with a restaurant and then want to eat there all the time and then not eat there for 5 years. Anyways,
Moving on.
that's the fritter
Okay.
story. So we're going to talk about weird things that make us unusually happy. Would you like to start? I feel like you want to start. You're like,
Because Wit has quirks.
I know I'm very nervous about yours, but excited.
nervous.
Just I wonder if one of ours is going to be
They're
the
not going
same.
to be dirty.
I came out of the bathroom earlier and I was trying to say, what did I say? I was trying to say, you guys, I just thought of something else that makes me happy. But instead I said, you guys.
I thought of something else that makes me smell good.
You'll know why in a second. But I said, you guys, I just thought of something else that's going to make me smell good. They're like, what?
You're very enthusiastic about it, though.
I like literally no idea why that came out. But anyways. Sorry.
Okay, Whit, what's your first one?
I'm crying.
Oh man. So my first one that makes me unusually happy. Kate can't recover from her smelling good.
Sorry. I haven't laughed like that in a while. Okay.
Okay, one of my favorite things is when I can get Isaac to laugh really hard that he hits that like weird falsetto like note.
Yeah.
Kate has seen it before. Tara, have you seen that before?
He starts crying and he goes,
Yeah. He has this weird laugh and it literally makes me so insanely happy. And I like start laughing along with him and like almost start cry laughing because it's so first of all, the way he laughs is hilarious. And I can at home on the daily, I feel like I can get him to like usually laugh about something weird or quirky. And it's always just like the biggest joy in my life to see him like cry laugh because it's the funniest. Not everybody gets to see it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't let it out very often.
The only time I've seen it is when we watched that video of that kid that's like, I like turtles.
He showed Indy that and has made Indy start saying that.
It's like this kid in like a raccoon painted face and he's just like, I like turtles.
Okay, and that's the thing too. He doesn't laugh at normal things.
Yeah, he laughs at weird things.
He laughs at weird things. So like something that's like witty and like funny, something that's actually like humorous, he doesn't laugh at. He doesn't find humorous. But it's weird stuff like some kids saying I like turtles makes him like cry laugh.
That's funny.
So the fact that I can get him to do it every once in a while like literally makes me feel like I'm on top of the world.
That's funny.
What about you, Kate?
Oh, okay.
What
So
makes
here's
you
where the
smell
smell good. I actually think I either told you or Mom this the other day when we were at the Belonging. I love the smell of church. And there's a combination of like new building, people's perfume, and then coffee.
Yep.
And it's like this weird like nostalgia because we grew up in a church where you ate lunch. There was 2 services and you ate lunch. And so you'd come out of Sunday school and you would smell the coffee and like the lunch and like fresh bread. Yeah, and then it's just like the smell of like people smelling good, the clean shower, and like perfume cologne mixed with like a building smell.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Agree. It makes me like when I walk into church and I smell it, I'm like, I'm home. It smells like church.
You should make that into a candle.
Okay, I was telling Mom this when we were at the Belonging, and I was like, doesn't it smell like church in here? And she's like, what do you mean? And I explained it. She's like, that is like the perfect explanation. It's like, because the building that we're in is like just renovated, so it smells like new construction. And she mentioned that too. She's like, that'd be like a funny candle smell.
It would be.
Anyways, that was my next one. What was yours, Tam? Or my first one?
I like the smell of Clorox.
It makes you unusually happy.
When you walk into the house and it smells like cleaning products.
Oh,
like
yeah.
after it's been cleaned.
Yeah.
I like that fresh, like scent, lemon scented Clorox.
Do you still enjoy it when you're the one cleaning or the most when it's not you?
The most when it's not me, but it's still a satisfying scent when you clean the house and everything like smells clean. Yeah. Disinfected.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Oh, my next one, front row parking spots.
Oh, yeah.
They make me so jazzed.
I thought of you on countless occasions.
Have you?
About
this is a
front
thing.
row. Yeah,
Apparently, because Isaac knows this about me too. And he will drive around the parking lot until he can find
Which is hilarious because I'm the exact opposite. I'll usually park like farther out because I don't want my door dinged. And so I will purposely walk extra so I don't have to. Like I don't care.
The walking is not worth it to me. I'd rather have a door ding. If I can find a front row parking spot, I am there.
Do you remember when we were kids and we'd be late for the movies and we'd get a good spot and Dad would be like, look at this nice parking spot. And Mom goes, I prayed for that one. Do you remember that?
Always.
She'd be like, I prayed for that parking spot.
I remember shopping with her one time when we were at the mall. I think it was like for Christmas shopping, the same thing. She
That's
was
really
like,
cute.
I prayed for a parking spot to open up.
So
I
funny.
actually do that too. I hardly ever get front row spots, but Jesus always opens up one for me.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's funny.
You're next.
Is it my turn?
Mhm.
Okay, I really like the sound if you're eating chips and I can hear it crunching in your mouth, but it's like a closed mouth crunch.
On someone else.
Not on myself because it's not the same noise as
You like to hear someone else chew.
I
their
love
chips.
the noise of someone else chewing chips.
That is so weird
A
because
really
that's
crunchy
actually a
chip.
pet peeve of other people's.
I
Like,
know.
It's,
The
I don't
sound
really
of
care, but
chewing.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it. I don't know why. It's like a really loud crunch noise I enjoy.
If they open mouth crunch, it bugs
Yeah,
you?
I'm not into that. But once they're not as close.
But a closed mouth crunch is
A closed mouth chip crunch.
added to that.
Because I don't really want to hear like the tongue sloshing and the situations like that. But you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I wish I had some chips to demonstrate, but I don't.
I was not
Our
expecting any-
podcast became ASMR.
so strange. I was not expecting that. Okay.
I like it when you grab like candy out of a bag and you think it's the last one, and then you go and realize there's still another one left.
That is so satisfying. You're like, I have one more Skittle. This is the best day ever.
Because you've already savored that last one, knowing it was your last one.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wait, there's still one more
Yeah.
in here.
I actually was
I
like
like-
so indulgent and bought Skittles last night on my way home. So that's why I said Skittles. I never buy candy, but when I allow myself to have it, I'm like a ravaged animal. It's just like Skittles.
But see, so Skittles would not be my first.
I also got a Butterfinger. So I wasn't gonna be honest about
Is
that,
that all
but
for you?
yeah, that was all for me. It's a Mentos gum.
Oh man.
Is it my turn again?
No, it's a win.
Oh, I was like, wow.
Okay. I enjoy a really extremely efficient grocery shopping trip.
What do you define as efficient?
Yeah.
Like not having to like go back the way I came in certain areas, like getting everything I need, making one big U, and
Do
then like
you
doing it real quick.
Write out your list on purpose based off section.
I do.
Okay.
I like write my list off because I like can visualize where everything's at. But I cannot stand when I have to go back like down
And, like,
an aisle
zigzag.
I've already done. Yeah. Or I've already gone through. I hate zigzagging. I don't like going to grocery stores where I don't know the layout because it wastes so much time
Figuring out where
not
things are at.
knowing where things are at. I don't enjoy that.
So do you write out your list of what you need and then rewrite it based off of where it's at? Or do you write out the list based off where it's at from the
I'm
get-go?
not going to waste time rewriting a list I've already
I know, but
written.
you have to think through each section.
My
So you
brain
start in
works.
produce.
Yeah, I start.
I zigzag the whole store the whole time.
That does
I'm
not
just-
surprise me.
I'm like,
Yeah, that would.
I grocery shop the way I think.
I typically make a list, but I do what you do, but I go up and down the aisles and then I mark it off as I'm going. But I don't put it in order of like section.
I never
I-
make a list.
I
You don't ever
do.
make a list?
I do.
And do you forget stuff a lot?
Yes. That's what Instant Car is for.
Yes.
Okay, your world would literally make me go insane.
I like buy planners and like notebooks, and I have like a magnet on my fridge to plan out meals, and like people just write funny notes on it. Like it's never like one night, when when Uncut Gems was like a thing, Sam made a whole menu on my fridge with the words Uncut Gems, like uncut hamburger helper gems. Like, it's just like so ridiculous. And so because they know I don't put my meals on there. Like I want to be organized, but I can't. What's that one reel where
Does
they're
Sam
like,
listen to the podcast?
Sam, are you listening? I don't know.
Shout
Actually,
out to Sam.
I wonder. I think that he did listen to one of the first 2 episodes because he told me he was going to give us a download. He thought it was funny. I mean, heck, we are funny. Is it my turn?
Yes.
I keep asking every time. My turn? It's like that reel. Me? Hi, I'm Elle Woods.
This is Bruiser
This is
Woods.
Bruiser Woods. Did you see Lucy Scholl, my friend Lucy Ream? She did her baby like bump as this is Bruiser
Aw,
Woods.
that's
It was cute.
Did you see
Anyways,
ours?
shout out Lucy.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
like,
where Whitney's the dog.
Whitney is the dog.
why am I always the dog?
This one's more sentimental, but I love when a friend of mine buys from Royal and Reese.
Oh.
It makes me feel so happy to see a friend like A, think our stuff is cool enough to like buy, and B, I almost said two, A and then two, B, like if they want to support our store, like whenever like your friends buy and we're like, oh my gosh, like Holly Keyser just bought or something, it just always makes me shout out Holly. So many shout outs. Holly and I are BFFs. We talk on Instagram about books. I just did this. That's all. I can't remember what I was saying. Besides, me and Holly are friends. You have a lot of friends named Holly.
I do. I have
Yeah.
two.
Well, that's a lot. Well, one's Holly Ray, and shout out Holly Ray, and then one is Holly Keyser. People are gonna start paying me for shout outs because we're doing it. It's like a special thing, you know. We're gonna be like, I'll slip you a 20 and give me a shout out in the podcast. Who needs sponsors when you can
Shout out your friends for $20.
That's you guys, that is an untapped market. That is a free idea for someone right there, because we have yet to have a sponsor. So, you know, we're working on it.
Because Holly Ray and Holly would love to have their names
Yes.
put out there.
Holly Keyser will message us and be like, I'm so grateful for the shout out. Does she listen?
She does.
Oh, perfect.
Ash
Don't
does
tell her
too.
that we gave her a shout out. Wait till
Shout
she
out
finds
to
out.
Ash.
Hey, Ash.
I always get a text from Ash like the next day and was like, I was laughing so hard at the podcast.
Shout out to my book club.
I
Who
have
else?
not gotten
Mom?
that from Holly Ray though, so maybe Holly Ray doesn't listen to the podcast.
What does she listen to when she's running marathons?
I don't think
Probably
she
the
listens to
Bible.
anything. I don't-
True. She probably is listening to the Bible. She's like the most like
I said that so emphatically.
you did. It sounded like you were making fun of her.
That's really not going to be funny to anybody. She doesn't listen to stuff because she says it's distracting. 'Cause you have
Weird.
you listen to your breathing and like you know.
Really?
This is like the most wholesome, wonderful friend of Tara's, like the
Yeah.
nicest person ever. And she's a marathon runner, and
But she
she
does.
loves Jesus, so she probably would listen to the
For real,
Bible.
she knows the Bible like front and back. It's actually
Sweating.
really inspiring, but she probably is truly listening to the Bible.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't making fun of her. I was just, it's like cute.
No,
Well,
I
because
know.
I asked her one time, I'm like, you could literally listen to like an entire book on tape while you're
Right.
running, and she's like, oh no, I never listen
I
to stuff.
can't stop laughing. Oh my gosh. Okay,
Okay.
so we've done all our shout outs. Would you like to shout out someone? Maybe Indy Riv, Mom, Aunt Kara. Who else is
Why
her
are-
biggest fan?
Why are whites nobody's friends?
Because we're two friends. It's her kids and
Mom.
Kara.
He's like shouting out all of my friends in Whitser.
Mine are my own children and my family because I don't have any friends.
He's like, well, we're already here. It's
Like we're her two friends.
I'm like, hey, you want to give me a shout out really quick? Okay. I literally said Mom and Aunt Kara.
It's funny because it's true.
Aunt Kara is one of my best friends. So it's applied.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sweating.
That's
I'm sad now.
My sister-in-law Libby the other day was like, does Whit ever go out like girls' nights? And I was like, no, pretty much never.
All my friends
Except
have
for
moved
us.
away, and all my friends are in California.
I'm like full on sweating from laughing.
maybe
Gotta
it's
air
a
the
good
pits.
calorie burn.
My cheeks hurt.
Oh, what happened here?
Is it my turn? Sorry.
I don't know what happened to my screen. Why does that look like? Oh, there.
I
Okay.
need a sip of water.
Okay, mine is, oh, I like a really crisp Dr. Pepper.
Ooh.
And the best one is from Chili's. It's like,
Chili's.
yeah, it's like it is like the perfect combo of carbonation and sweet.
Mhm.
And so it just has like this crisp flavor. It's kind of like getting a McDonald's Coke. It's the same thing. Like they have a good combo of like carbonation to whatever. What's this syrup?
Syrup.
And that gives me, yeah, I will think about Dr. Pepper from Chili's. on occasion of how like because you can almost feel
I will
like the
think about
bubbles.
Dr. Pepper fruit
Like if you get too, if you like you're sipping the
Yeah.
straw and you can feel the bubbles
Yeah.
like burst. If you get a little too close to the carbonation.
That one
It's
really
good.
lit up your life.
It did.
Now you can
It's
tell it
we,
just
it's
in
the
your
whole
face.
topic. It's weird things that make us oddly happy.
Yeah, but that one specifically really made you happy.
It's been something that I have enjoyed since high school.
Wow, this is a good one then.
It is a good one.
That was all.
My next one, hitting all green lights on my way to go somewhere.
Yours are also practical.
Why
Do
am I
you-
so efficient?
You're like, it's all perfectionistic things, which says a lot about you.
I didn't realize how perfectionistic you were until we started this podcast.
I would agree.
Wow.
Do you purposely drive a certain speed so that you hit them right?
I just drive really fast so I can hit them all. If it's green.
But that doesn't always work in your favor.
No, I
So
know.
like if you drive when we were younger, when I
Whitney's
was
just
first
Tokyo
driving,
drifting out here. To get a green light.
I gotta get it.
Dad was when we would drive home from Inouye's house. Dad was saying if you go
Through
all the way down,
Bloomington, through uptown or downtown Bloomington.
yeah, like
If you
Main
go
Street,
30 miles an
30
hour,
yeah, you can hit
you can
every
hit
single
every
one.
single
Yeah.
green light. FYI, if you live in town.
Wow,
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yes, I do that in downtown Bloomington, but that's not everything
But on
else is not
veterans.
timed.
Okay,
They're not timed. They are like by
sensors.
sensors. So it doesn't always work. But on
But are you
random
that person
days-
that's like ramrodding behind somebody and then you like get out of like the lane and go speeding forward and then
No.
you get stuck behind someone?
I don't do that.
Because
no.
I'm always like, ha, 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 look how far I got you.
I don't do that. I do drive fast, but I'm not like a jerk on the road.
You on road rage?
No, I don't.
I don't either. I don't care about anybody on the but I don't mean it that way. I don't care what anyone else is doing around me. Like it'll make Phil mad if someone's driving really slow or like slams on their brakes and I'm like either I'm just really oblivious or I just like it doesn't offend me.
Yeah, the
I
only
don't
time it-
understand the rage that people get. Like
Yeah.
if they actually like get out and hit somebody with their car or like hit somebody like physically or like
Yeah.
if they shoot people. Like have you heard of those crazy road rage stories?
Oh, like
People were
Have
getting
you ever
mad at
Yeah.
seen
the
this
interstate.
happen?
I've
like if
seen,
they get in a
news,
car
like-
accident and then they like there's like gun violence.
or no, like if there's
that what
if
you're
there's
Does that
no,
happen?
I'm saying people will literally get irate while they're driving if they're like trying to pass people.
Oh,
And
I thought you
stuff.
meant like if they get in a car accident.
No, like if
Oh.
they, but they'll like purposely slam on the brakes or like do things
Yes.
to like annoy the person behind them, and the person will get so mad that they'll literally like, get out of their car and like beat the person,
Wow.
or like there's been times where they've shot him.
Jeez.
Like, have you seen that on the news
No.
before?
God.
I
Like
feel like
road
I've heard of a
rage
story,
instances?
yeah, but that's
Yeah, I don't have road rage.
But I'm just saying, like, that's how, like, it's crazy to think that people can get that upset about driving.
you know what they need to do? They need to write down 5 things that make them unusually happy. They'll probably feel better.
I will say if I'm on like the highway or the freeway and someone is like riding my tail, I have on occasion turned on my windshield wiper fluid.
So it sprays back at them.
So it sprays back at them, and so they have to like ease off their gas.
I like to tap on my brakes if someone's riding my.
That doesn't usually work. But yeah, I have done that before, and I feel a little guilty about it. But at the same time, I'm like, I have kids. You need to get away from my car.
I feel guilty about it. I'm just spraying them with windshield wiper fluid.
I mean, they don't like it. They know what I'm doing. I'm like, leave me alone.
It's funny.
Okay, my next 2 are seasonal options, and I really love when
Seasonal.
Seasonal?
when you go to Hobby Lobby and the pumpkins are out. You know, that feeling, and you're just like, it's almost time. It's almost
But
fall.
here's the thing: they put those out in like April.
No, maybe they do, but I feel like when you go like early August and like all the fall stuff is out, or like end of July, and you're like, it's coming. Except the weather doesn't like match the spirit of fall in Nashville until like September or October, so that's really sad because I feel like for you guys it changes in like August.
Yeah.
It doesn't really anymore. It used to, but it doesn't.
Well, you get like 2 weeks of like really nice fall weather before it starts getting really rainy and cloudy.
Yeah, but I feel like in the most recent falls that we've had, at least for the last 5 or 6 years, it's been 90 into September.
It's true.
I just love like that feeling. Like I got a whiff of one of my fall candles the other day. And I was like, oh, it's just that like feeling of like cozy.
Yeah.
And like this girl was doing a book review about like best thrillers. And she was like, these 3 you need to read in October because they're spooky. Like they're like, it was like a silly witch romance called like X-Hex, you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of that one.
And that feeling of like going and buying mums and then like remember when your kids ruined our fall day? You have to tell that story because it's so funny.
We were gonna go get Mums and Starbucks and something else. Right?
We
Didn't
went
go
to
we
Home
went to
Goods.
We went to Home Goods, and I was like, "Don't touch anything," because there's like tons of glass. And
And Becky
everything.
goes, Kate's touching it, everything.
They
And Tara's
just
like,
picked up-
Kate's an adult.
They kept bumping into things, and they kept touching every single thing that was like in their path. And I was just like, "Don't touch it." I said, "Don't touch it. Like, quit touching," because it was like the last thing I need is to buy a bunch of stuff from Home Goods that we
Right.
don't need because it's busted. So then we went to Starbucks, and they didn't.
We bought them candy, and they were
Oh, yeah.
only allowed to have one piece, and they kept eating it. And like the
Yes.
more sugar that they consumed, the more crazy they got.
Yeah.
And so Briley, was it Briley or Britton who ate like almost the entire box?
Yeah.
Was it Britton?
I think it was Briley.
And so we get to,
Did we go to Starbucks too? Or did
yeah,
we-
you
okay.
went through the drive-thru for me to get a cold brew.
Oh, yes.
A pumpkin cold brew. And then we were going to go to Owen's nursery, and you were going to buy bumps for your front porch. And the kids were all like fighting. And we were probably pushing like nap time and all this stuff. And they're all just like complaining, like, I'm hot, I want water. And like they'd like been eating their sugar. And then finally Tara pulls into Owen's nursery, and she was like, everyone just stop talking. We were supposed to have a fun fall day, and you've ruined it. She's like, gets out of the car and slams the door. And I like look back at the kids, and I was like, listen, everyone hand me your candy right now. I had like a pep talk with them, and I was like, the reason your mom's upset is because you guys are a little wild. So what we're going to do, and like we were going to do chili that night, or like soup, and then pumpkin cupcakes. We're gonna decorate cupcakes. And I was like basically telling them, like, no more candy, you're gonna go rest, and then we'll make pumpkin cupcakes later. And I'm like telling them something fun we'll do. Oh no, you were gonna have them paint pumpkins.
Oh, yeah,
that's what it was. And they were like, okay. And I'm like, so when mom gets back in, let's just all be really quiet the whole way home. And they're like, okay. And you came back, and I was like, we had a little chat. Oh, it was so funny, but they're so little. Like, it's just hard to expect them to be, you know, it wasn't
their
really
idea of a fun fall day. Was
yeah,
not the
that
same
wasn't
time.
really like anything related to kids. Like we
Yeah.
let them pick out candy at Target, but it wasn't like that was something we did for them. They were just tagging along. So I just think it's really funny. You're like, you've ruined it.
It's so relatable too.
Oh my god. We just have these ideals of like, oh, let's go have like a fun day. We'll pick out stuff from the front porch, and then we'll go get some like, you know, fall decorations. And I was having a great time until they just like melted down. Everything was like a complaint. They didn't get what they wanted. I think they wanted like lemonade from Starbucks. I didn't get it from them, so they were upset. Like it was just like one thing after another.
My other seasonal option is I used to work at the mall in high school, and I loved the smell of the sugared nuts at Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
They had like this nut store that was like a kiosk pop-up that they would have from like basically like Thanksgiving to the New Year. And like just walking in, that smell, and like Christmas music was playing. Libby worked at the ornament store. I worked at Express. And we would like, I would go to Gloria Jean's and get the sleigh ride, which is like no short of 2,000 calories. It's like some
It's
sort
like
of
straight up
sugary.
sugar.
Yeah, it's not even a coffee drink.
It's like crushed up cookies
Yeah.
and milk and ice.
There's a lot of like Christmassy things or like holiday things. I don't necessarily actually really like the day of Christmas, to be honest. Like, that sounds bad. It's not like I don't like to gather with family, but the month that I'm home before I come to Bloomington and like all the stuff leading up, like holiday wise, I love. It's just really stressful once I'm home for Christmas because I feel like I want to be in two places at once, and I always feel like I'm letting someone down.
Yeah, I get that.
I just got really real, but you know what I mean? But like all of the like activities like leading up to Christmas makes me feel like
our cookie making day.
Yeah, except Tara had me unwrap
my
Rolos
word.
at an unprecedented pace.
The cookie making day we have retired since because
stopped
it's
it.
way too
It's like
stressful.
2009. Like we haven't done it in a really long time.
Really long time.
Well, the stupid part about it was we decided we were going to do cookie baking, but then we were going to make 25 platters of cookies for all the people
Which is
that we
an ungodly
wanted to eat.
amount.
I
No, no,
had
no, it wasn't.
25 friends alone that we went to go deliver those to.
No, there's no way.
And we drove to Morton to drop off some of those.
25 per person. There's no way.
I think you
We
did 25 plates.
I think we did
Oh,
25
maybe.
plates total.
Do you
I
have
just
25
remember-
You're so mean.
I'm sorry, you just set that one up too early.
Kate's like, it definitely could not have been 25 plates a person.
You're like maybe 2 to 5.
Because once we got past Indian Rib and Mom and Kara.
Well, Indian Rib weren't even born, so it's just Mom and Kara.
Gosh.
Just kidding.
Keep my circle small.
Oh yeah, and then like one for you and one plate for me. So then
Yeah.
that's 6 friends.
But
You're just
I think it was
mean.
25 plates total. But the problem with that is we had to make at least 2, if not 3 batches of every single cookie. And then we decided to make like 8 different kinds of cookies.
Yeah.
So I was literally at one point told Kate she needs to unwrap the Hershey Kisses faster.
Those Rolos. And finally I was like, cookie baking day is too stressful. I'm not having any fun.
She's like, this isn't fun at all. It got, when I
I felt
realized
like I was in like a factory that I was like on the clock, like punching how many cookies I was gonna
it's
make.
like a Lucille Ball. Like,
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Or the conveyor belt.
Or like when Monica makes cookie or like candy for
Oh,
the
yeah.
neighbors,
Oh,
and she's
yeah.
like, "They're just gonna have to wait, aren't they?" That's what it felt like. We're just like
I
erratically
knew it had gotten
stirring
out of
chocolate.
hand when I started making the cookie dough the day before cookie baking day, so I could get ahead of it. And I was like, this has gotten out of control.
So we have since only made cookies for our own families.
For our own family, which makes way more sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. The gesture was nice, but like it was too much at Christmas time.
Mhm.
And since we made so many cookies on the platter, like we gave that cookie platter to my in-laws, and like 2 people aren't going to eat like 13 cookies before they go bad. You know what I mean? There was like literally like
Yeah.
15 different types of cookies on
Yeah,
there.
it was a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So we've learned our lesson.
I think our family like does everything in excess though. Like nobody else would give you a plate of cookies with like 25 things.
Yeah.
I feel like we just do the most always.
We do.
Mhm.
But that's why you guys love us,
It's a
right?
blessing and a curse.
I do the most for everything.
You do.
Yeah.
And so does Tara. When you do like dinners, you're like,
Mm.
I don't think there's gonna be enough food. And I was like,
Yeah.
Tara,
I do
you have
always
5
stress.
people coming and you don't need to make like 6 entrees.
But that's something that Grandma Huber used to do. Don't you remember? She would always panic last minute and would like, Mom said she would like whip up spaghetti right at the end, even if
I
you're having
thought-
like steak.
I
because
thought that
wouldn't
she
get enough
made
food.
food, and as people were eating, she would make like Kraft mac and cheese.
No, Mom said she'd always get nervous before they got there that she didn't have enough, so she
Oh.
always made something last minute.
I do that.
I do it too.
I make like a second dessert. I'm like, who needs 2 desserts?
Well, I always start thinking like, is this okay? So we just had people over and we were having ribeye sandwiches, and I was doing somebody was bringing a potato, somebody was bringing a salad, and then we had appetizers coming, and then I was supposed to do dessert. So then I was like, I bought chips and I ended up making a pasta salad. So just in my head, I was like, okay, I only have the sandwiches, the pasta salad, and the dessert, which just didn't feel like enough stuff. So I felt like I needed to keep like adding things to it to like make it seem like more of a full. When I was rattling it off to Wit, she was like, that sounds like so much food. I think you're going
Right.
to be just fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know, but in my head, it just doesn't feel like a lot. Like, I'm afraid like people are going to show up and like, it's all spread out on the counter and they're like, oh, okay, thanks. You
My
know, like,
best friend's baby shower is this Saturday, and because of that, I hired a caterer because I told Phil, I was like, he didn't need the justification because the caterer is one of our best friends. And so I was like, I just know myself, I'll overbuy all the ingredients and then I'll be stuck with all these ingredients that I'll never use again. You know what I mean? Or they'll go bad before and I'll have so much left over. I was like, it's honestly cheaper to hire someone else to do it, and I don't have to do any of the dishes or the cleanup or the prep, and I can be out of town this week and like not stress over it. But yeah, my friend Britt is always like, you're overdoing it again.
you
Like
not-
you don't need to.
figuring out your decorations.
Yeah, we're just going with a simple balloon arch.
Oh, you
Me and
didn't go with
Tara went
any of
through this like hour-long conversation about decor,
Oh my
and I
God.
was just so overwhelmed that I was like, I was gonna like rent this like boxwood background.
I literally
for
sent her
$250.
links
Gosh.
to everything and like all these.
Tara's like,
napkins
why
and
didn't you
plates.
hire me?
Well, let me rewind. So my best friend's shower, her family, instead of doing like a family shower and a friend's shower, we're just doing it all together. So like her parents wanted to do like the beer and water, and like they like went to Costco and got liquor. So they were like contributing to it. And Britt was like, I'm just going to pick up plates so that you don't have to get any. So then that knocked out the plates. So then I was like, I don't really need to like match the plates anymore.
I got the caterer. So
I got the caterer. Like I literally told her, I was like, I feel like I'm just showing up with a gift. And she was like, no, you're doing so much. Like it's at your house, you're hosting people. And I'm like, I know, but I don't like, I'm really not lifting a finger. It's kind of amazing.
So who's
So-
bringing napkins and cups?
So they're doing that.
Is there going to be
Mm.
desserts?
Yeah, her sister is making all the cakes and all the
Oh,
desserts.
her
Her
sister's so
sister's like a
good. Yeah.
baker. And then my friend Bree is making a sign. Taylor's helping me make the balloon arch. And then
You're just
awesome.
providing the house.
yeah, I'm providing the house. And Phil, I was laughing because we have a bags game, but it has Miller Lite on it. And I was like, this is so inappropriate for like a baby shower. And Phil goes, no, it's not. It's awesome. He literally asked for them for Christmas 2 years ago because it's a couple showers, like men and women. It'd be even weirder if it was just a women's shower and we were playing bags on Miller Lights. Miller Lite board.
I got Brian one for Christmas. I think the very first year we were together, and he's literally never used it.
Is it Bears?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it in your garage. Yeah.
It's rotting.
We've actually used ours a decent amount, but they're nice to have.
Yeah, they are nice to have.
Yeah.
It is a good gift.
It is a good gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yard games makes us unusually happy.
Our kids actually would think it's fun.
It's funny.
Okay, my next one is I like it when the weather is cool enough to wear like a long sleeve shirt, but not so cold that you have to wear a jacket. Like I love that. Like it's in the sun, it's cool enough that you're not hot, but you're still like cool enough that you need a long sleeve shirt for. Like that perfect. Like when we were in Florida the last time, that's how it was all week, right? It was kind of like that 65, 70 degree weather, whereas in the sun it was a little bit warm, but still like enough of a breeze that you could feel like content.
Yeah, I love that.
That makes me weirdly happy.
It makes me happy too. On that note, I love a really great coffee on a sunny day.
I would agree with that.
It's just like one of the things that makes me just like so jazzed. Actually, it actually kind of fuels me wanting to do other things in the sun or like go run errands, go
So
get
if
a good
it's sunny, you
book.
just have to
Run errands.
Yeah. I just like if I have a caffeinated,
does it need to be hot or cold?
oh, it's
The
always
coffee.
iced.
Okay.
Always iced coffee because then I can enjoy it right away. And then if it's a sunny day, I literally will go want to do everything on the planet.
I would agree with that. When I'm like wanting to make every day my birthday, we just did this on Saturday. We went to like a Hi-Fi Cookies that I've been talking about. We went to a bookstore and we were like walking around and I was like, every time it's nice out, I feel like I'm already a really unusually happy person, but I'm like over the top the most happy when it's really sunny out, when it's just blue skies. I sing my song every time I walk out of my house. Wait, how's it go?
It's a beautiful
Oh,
day.
it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And I usually shout it and I always have my arms out like this.
I just realized we grew up in the same house and I feel like that would have annoyed me so much.
Because you are Phil and Phil's always just like smizing, like, okay.
Yeah.
And
not that it would have annoyed me like to the point of being in a bad mood, but I would have been like, if we have to do this every time it's sunny.
I was in Florida a month ago for a wedding and Phil is not like exponentially happy when he first wakes up. He needs like a good 25 minutes to just like warm up to the idea of morning. And I'm like, if I'm waking up early for the gym, that's the only time that I'm not like super chipper, but I could be within a couple of minutes. But we were in Florida and we were getting up to go to Black Bear Coffee. Have I told you this story already? And I put on sandals and I was like, ooh, my toesies are free. They're out and feeling the wild. And I'm like going on and on about how my toes can feel the sunny, like the cool breeze and like the sunshine. I'm like, the toes are out. The gorgeous girls are out. And I'm like going, and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy I'm wearing a sandal. And I'm like doing this. And I look at Phil and I was like, if I died, you would never find anyone as joyful as me, would you? And I was like, it's a privilege and an honor to be married to me. Phil was like, that is true. I would never find someone probably as joyful as you. Because I feel like I'm always like over the top, like happy, and Phil's just like.
Was that one on your list that makes you oddly happy?
Having my toesies out, my gorgeous girls. Yeah, I would say weather. Like, I'm not the type of person where, like, if it's raining, I'm like, oh, it's raining. Like, weather doesn't affect me in that way where I'm like, what's it called? Seasonal depression? I don't feel like, or yeah. But I do feel like when it's sunny, I'm like exponentially happy. Yeah, abnormally happy.
Yeah.
Was I not like that when we were growing up in California?
No,
You
you
were
were
kind of over the top about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Like what? In a good way or bad way?
When you got older, it was a good way. When you were younger, it was a bad way.
Yeah.
No, just because you were,
you
all
were
of
just
us.
looking for attention.
Yeah.
Positive or negative. You would get it in any fashion you could.
That's probably still true.
What? Because like I would have my friends over, you'd want to like hang out with us when you were like, 6. We were like 16.
See, that
And
seems normal.
be like, can my kindergartner sister come down and play with us?
Which is funny because our cousins who are Tara's age would always be like, yeah, let Kate and Whit come down. And you'd be like, no, I don't want them down here. And we're like, they're our cousins too, Tara. And we would be like so mad. It wasn't even that I wanted to play. It was more that I wanted to watch you. Like, I just
wanted
always
to be a part of the
yeah, I don't really
party.
feel like I needed to be a part of it. I think I
You
just
have
wanted to like
FOMO?
watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys, Tara used to have like an ongoing like video camera series that you guys were doing.
What is that?
Do you guys remember when video cameras were a thing?
Oh my gosh.
So we used to have like a old school like camcorder video camera, and her friends, they would do really funny things like they would have like a game show, but then they would also make their own commercials, and it was so fun to watch. And I would always watch
They were
them.
very kind and made me and Kate part of a commercial.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh-oh, we
Ash.
fell in the mud.
Yeah.
Ash Zeller was always sweet to me. Like when we were growing up, like she always wanted me to be included. And if I would go to your softball game, I would always be like, "Oh, I hope she talks to me." And I'd be like 7. And then we always ate Qdoba after your softball
Oh
game.
gosh, yeah.
I think we had Qdoba like 3 days a week for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Dad liked the good Qdoba.
Yes. Good queso.
Okay, my last one is I like to clear my notifications. Like, I don't love notifications on my phone. So if I see I have an email or a text or like a notification on Instagram, I have to have them all cleared because I can't stand having notification. So it gives me like a satisfaction to see them all empty.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you have one more?
I realized that all of my last ones are the perfect outfit, having really good nails, having a good hair day, having a good eyelash day. And you guys mentioning that it like really is putting on display how perfectionistic I am is making me extremely insecure.
I don't think that's insecure. I think that's just your personality type.
I don't think perfectionism is a bad thing.
I don't either.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't realize that you were a perfectionist until we started the podcast.
I could use a little
How
bit
did
more
you not
perfectionism.
know that?
I don't think I ever paid attention to it because we didn't. It's like we haven't. I don't feel like we've ever talked about it in that. Like I didn't feel like. I don't feel like you. You don't strike me as someone who tries to perform. You know what I mean?
Right. I would say
perfectionists try to perform.
it's
but
not
I mean, like you want to like trying to get something right because you want it to be perfect. Like I don't see you that way.
What?
I see you as being like really laid back and chill. So like perfectionism didn't like.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that because I am like that.
I don't think that you're neurotic in any way.
Yeah.
Like I definitely feel like you, and there's definitely times where I'm like trying to get stuff done and I'm asking you and you're like, I mean, you can't, okay. And then you'll just like let it go because like we don't have a lot of time, like today with the shoot photo.
No, you actually did a really good job with the shoot photo.
That's so nice. I really don't feel like I did. But I was like, do you want to set I was trying to be helpful because that's my personality. And I feel like people that are really perfectionistic would want to do it themselves and can't give over control.
It's things that I'm doing myself. So are the designs I do for t-shirts. Before I send them to you, I have to get them perfectly correct. But
I don't feel like you, I think that that's something that you internalize and don't necessarily express.
It's true. You don't understand the little storm that is going on in my head.
So that's what I'm saying.
Unless you tap my shoulder 5 times and then I'm like, leave me alone.
I was going to say also, because like, it's not like because I feel like people that are perfectionistic, like Phil, everything they do has to be done almost in a neurotic fashion. Like he folds his laundry a specific way. He packs his suitcase a specific way.
I will say
he loads the dishwasher perfectly.
I used to be like that. And then our cousin Heidi said, done is better than perfect. And I was like, that's a good point because there's a lot of stuff I don't get done because I think, I have to do it in a sequence in order to get it done perfectly. And so I feel like I have adapted a little bit and moved out of my like OCD isms and into like, okay, let's just get it done.
Have you seen that reel? That's like men versus women loading the dishwasher and the woman's just throwing plates and then she kicks the door closed. I was like, that's me and mom. Like me and mom are just like kick it closed. Like, because mom and I both move at like the speed of light, like when we're cleaning. And we always used to joke that like if mom's cleaning in a hurry, you like don't know where things are going to be.
Oh,
like,
Dad's like, you're going to find it months later.
yeah, it's like not in the right
back of
drawer.
Closet.
But I do that sometimes too, where Phil's like, where did you put my headphones? And I'm like, I didn't touch your headphones. And he's like, you were cleaning 20 minutes ago. You put them somewhere. And I'm like, it's probably in the junk drawer in the front room. But
what's your last one, Kate?
this one's not that funny. But I have a secret
So should we
talent.
end now?
I don't know if I said this on the podcast. Have we done secret talents? No. Maybe I should save it. It'll be a little precursor for that one, but I have this weird special talent of grabbing the right amount of things. I've said this before. Like if I hangers, if I like need 20 hangers, I'll go and grab, and it'll just happen to be 20 hangers.
That makes you oddly happy.
Kind of, because I'm like, I still got it. Every time it happens, I'm like, I did it again. It's like a special talent that means nothing and like has no value whatsoever. Other than the fact that I have gratification. But it's been like that since I was little. It's very weird. I don't know. It's just something I noticed. I'm just kidding.
Well, on that note.
Yeah, on that note. And we have plenty of time to get to Riv's basketball game.
And not to mention that Breck is also playing, but it's more important to be watching Riv, according to Riv.
Earlier when he was like, oh, we're going to see your friend so-and-so at the basketball game. And I was like, oh, she goes to Riv's games too? And I realized her child is also playing in the basketball game. But I thought she was coming to see Riv.
No.
Oh my gosh. I just said, oh my gosh.
Okay, we need to end this now.
Do you want to finish this out?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Say your closing statement now.
All right, guys, that will conclude this episode of the Sisterhood Society podcast. If you liked what you heard, we'd love it if you left a Apple review. It really helps us a lot. Or if you are enjoying the podcast on YouTube or Rumble, make sure to leave a comment below and let us know what you think makes you extremely happy, a weird thing that makes you happy. Other than that, we love you guys, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.